So things were a little heavy tonight on Sistas. A little bit heavy. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Tyler Perry's show Sistas on BET. This is season 1, episode 7. Through the weeks, it's been very lighthearted for the most part. We have some serious storylines, but he's kept it very lighthearted. Now, Tyler has a talent for the melodrama. I love all that. But yeah, it was weird because he literally flipped it. And this week, the show came across more. I always say it's like a knockoff Girlfriends or Sex in the City. This week, it really came off like a knockoff Soul Food. It came off like Soul Food. It got really heavy in some spots. Anyway, let's talk about it. Okay, so first thing is first. We start right where we left off. We got Karen out here kissing Aaron, and Zach has pulled up, and then Karen literally just, there's like a whole exchange between Karen and Zach, and she went off on Zach, and he kind of went off, and he's like, well, wait a minute. And the funny part was that Zach was really playing the victim. You have been a habitual cheater, okay? So Aaron's watching this, and Aaron doesn't know exactly what has happened. Aaron ends up, after Zach ends up pulling off, he ends up leaving because she told me, you're a bum. You ain't got nothing. You ain't had nothing, and I'm sick of supporting you. And then you just do whatever. Just get out of here. She didn't even get into it. She never really said anything about his real cheating or anything. So Aaron's clueless about all that. Aaron had the nerve to go off on Karen, telling her, I ain't the one. The way you talk to him, you'll never talk to me like that. I'm a man, and this, that, thing, and the other. And I'm like, hold up, Mr. Aaron C., because he's like, I never talk down to my wife. Beg your pardon? I beg your pardon because you talked to that wife like she was trash on the street. We seen it. Trash on the street. I was looking at him. I said, did I miss something? But see, Karen don't know nothing about that because Andy didn't fill her in on all that the way that he actually spoke to her. They didn't have that conversation. I was like, yeah, no, you might want. First of all, we already gave that the wife is single white female. Okay, she got a stiletto waiting on you anyway. So now, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, both of them ain't right. You need to leave them alone. For real. So then he basically called himself like dumping her. You call me when you learn how to talk to a man. No, you don't call him at all. You leave him alone. That's what you do for him. You leave him alone. Thanks, but no thanks. This is where I get off the ride. I don't like this ride. It's moving too fast. I'm out. Anyway, Karen goes on in the house. Her mom is in the house. Her mother, sharp. Her mother is just sharp, right? Her mother, because first I looked at her and she definitely gave me, like I said, okay, well, is her mom a lesbian? Because I was getting more of like a really, she get real, like, she gave me lesbian tease. Because she was like, she's just so stern and so sure of herself. And she's very confident. I said, no, she's not a lesbian. She's just more of a feminist. But not so harsh. She ended up, it was just like she just wasn't no prissy woman. She wasn't prissy. She wasn't overdone. She wasn't very feminine. She was just a badass chick. And she had like blonde dreads, and they're like molded to the front, and it's real sharp. But she just looked like a sharp lesbian to me, and I was here for it. But she's not a lesbian. She just that girl. And she was so real. She was so real. And she kept referring, see, the window was open. So she was hearing the little stuff that was going on outside, that little debacle that went on outside. She was just so real. She said, I came over here to get my rubber shit that you just like don't ever return to my house. And she just was talking about being at Coachella and how she rode there on her Harley, and she had rode her Harley over to Karen's house. She's just a bad chick for me. I was like, okay. And she was like, girl, you got to, she's like, so mama, or what is the advice you're giving me? So, girl, you gotta do what's best for you, child. You gonna give up on that man just because he cheated? Really? Men, and she went into how men are really behind the eight ball. They don't really know what's really going on. And they got to catch up to you as a female. And that's the truth. That really is the truth. Now, I ain't saying, because see, mama, I can't do the cheating thing. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm very, very bad when it comes to matters of the heart. And people who have followed me for a while, you know that. I don't play cheat on James. I don't play that game. I don't share. I am a very selfish lover. I don't share. Not on purpose. Not ever. You understand? Threesomes, foursomes, and moresomes? Not with me. I don't play any of those kind of games. I don't do none of that. I don't play that. But yeah, her mother was like, but you got to figure out what you want to do. She put it all out there. But she's like, no, I ain't gonna live it for you. I ain't gonna work it for you. I ain't gonna make the decision for you. I ain't doing that. And as a matter of fact, I'm out of here. There's the address. I'm going with Jose. She said, who is Jose? So, girl, I met him at Coachella, child, and I'm getting ready to go. Was it Jose or Julio? One of the two. It was Jose or Julio or both of them, child. She was going on camping with him, honey, and she said, if I disappear, I ain't her address, child. So I just laughed at her. She was a very interesting character to me. I enjoyed her. Let's go over to Danny. Zach done got there slamming doors. Danny's like, fool, you crazy? The landlord lives downstairs. What we not going to do is be slamming doors and pissing off the landlord. We not going to do that. Baby, when I tell you he was swole about what that went on between him and Karen, he was so mad. He ended up taking her pen and locking himself in the bathroom to smoke weed. And she was getting dressed. And she was like, and she really been like just blowing him off. And she ended up getting a butter knife to pop the door to get in there, child. He in the tub. And then here he go high again. But I can't feel my face. He's as high as a fur coat. He in there, and he started running his mouth again. I said, baby, with your fine self, you don't need to smoke weed at all. Because when you smoke weed, your lips get loose. And he sat in there in that tub and basically ran all Miss Karen's tea and basically told Daddy all about how the girls talk about her. And I said, oh, no, Zach. Danny's hot. So she took her time getting to the bar because they were all going to the bar. She's pissing around. She got there whenever. Andy was down at the office, and we got this new character who her name is Miss Irene. Miss Irene was the cleaning lady because the office is closed. Everybody's gone. And Andy's in the office. She was still working. Miss Irene rolled through. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll come back. And they start having this conversation. And I said, oh, Tyler done got me. Here you go with the melodrama. And it was done very well. Listen, I told you about how the acting had been bad. And this and in the Oval. And I told you, I know Tyler and I knew it would catch up and things would be okay. So this scene was done so well. Everything tonight, like all the acting tonight, everything was on. So I think when they got to episode 7, they had got to their plateau and I think they're comfortable with each other now or whatever. But the acting was good tonight. So listen, so we get introduced to Miss Irene. So Miss Irene rolls through and she's just talking to her and saying, you can learn a lot from people when you empty their garbage. And I'm not nosy. I ain't going through your things or nothing like that. But I could tell the way you dispose of things. I could tell you don't throw things all on the floor and all that. I could tell you were raised right. You're a good girl. This, that thing, and the other. She's talking to her. And I said, So then Andy tells her, I want to thank you. I said, thank me for what, baby? She said, I want to thank you for reminding me of who I am. And through this, that's why I say the acting had gotten better, because I literally was like, here we go. Here we go with the waterfalls. I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But he was, yeah, Tyler. Very good. Very good. But yeah, and there was a whole thing of don't judge a book by its cover. Because she thought Miss Irene was just this cleaning lady. She really wasn't just a cleaning lady. She actually owns the cleaning business with her son, who we find out later is really her grandson, but she calls him her son. She is actually a retired educator. So this woman, no joke, this woman was just as smart, just as smart and accomplished as Andy. But she just retired and didn't want to sit home. Never judge a book by their cover. You don't know who you're talking to. You really don't. When you think, somebody is just, you don't know who you're talking to. But I think she said some things to Andy that put some things into perspective. Because, see, I've told y'all before, Andy and Karen are not good for each other. They're good. I mean, they love each other as friends. And, they do. They have a loving bond, a female bond for each other. But they're not good for each other in crisis, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Because they both goofy when it comes to matters of the heart. So I think she got the message that needed to go through with Andy. And in the midst of all that, that Gary done showed up at the job. And she's like, wait a minute, you ain't got no business being here. Why are you here? And he's like, you didn't answer my calls. And I want to know when you coming home. And man, if you don't get out of here, he was doing too much. He got to the point where he done made me, I don't like him. I just don't care for him. You cute and everything like that. But that's what I got for you. You get on out of here. But he just do too much. You acting like you got some control over what somebody's doing and that you're in a position to ask somebody something about where they at, where they been, and where they going. I don't think you do, cheater. Mr. with the wife and the kids. Get out of here. Just ridiculous. But anyway, so she gave him what he needed. Get out of here. I'll be home when I get home. I said, that's right, girl. Anyway, and I think a lot, come on, Andy, come on. That's right. So in the midst of that, she's working her way on getting on up out of there. Sabrina's down there at the bar by herself, child, being hit on by everything wrong, okay? And Danny finally shows up and being real shady. Very shady. And at one point, this cute little thing come bopping up to Sabrina, honey, and Danny gave, buy me a drink. And he said, but I wasn't coming to talk to you. I was coming to talk to her. If you want to talk to her, you have to go through me. Let's go. Took him right up off of her. I said, shady? She was like, what? She said, because she had asked her, you help me talk about me? And she's questioning her. She was like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. No, whatever. Goes on. So anyway, Karen's on her way trying to leave the house to get to the bar, and she running late. She come in and runs into the wife. The wife done found her house, and she out there with the single white female thing going on. She told her, go away, go away. I seen him here. I seen you kissing him. She said, girl, listen, I ain't interested in him. I ain't interested in you. I don't want nothing to do with you all. She's on the phone with Sabrina. Sabrina's like, girl, wait a minute. She's like, she's like, yeah, I'm safe, girl. She's not going to do that to me. I wish she would. I said, I'm scared. She's like, girl, I'll tear her up, honey. So the girl sitting there and I said, you underestimating that white woman. Talking about you going to tear her up and you talking all that good shit. While she's standing there, I said, girl, you gonna mess around and get tore down. But she told her, I got money, I can give you money. She was like, I don't want nothing. I want y'all to leave me alone. She said, dog, get on in your car and get on out of here. She left. She hangs up her Sabrina. She said, I'm on my way. She calls Aaron and then he answered that phone and gonna say, are you ready to talk? You ready to talk right now? And she gonna say, yeah, let me tell you this. Tell that bitch ass wife of yours to stay from around my house and stay from around my job, or I'm gonna beat her ass down. How about that? Click up. I said, I know that's right. I know that's right. But girl, I don't know about you whooping that wife, because that wife gives me cuckoo LaRue tease, honey. I think she might tear you up. But whatever, girl. We're gonna see. Anyway, so as all that's going on, everybody trying to make their way. Andy is on her way leaving the office. She don't get out because she kept saying, look like they've been running that sweeper in the same spot for the longest. She goes back there. Child, Miss Irene is stretched out. I said, oh, no. I was like, Aunt Tyler, you're not getting ready to give me this. No, you're not. You're not getting ready to do this to me. And here it was, she passed out. Because I was about to have a fit with Tyler. You understand me? A whole fit. But she didn't. She had passed out. And, she got the ambulance there and all that. She ended up going out to the hospital. In the midst of all that, the grandson comes in fine as ever. Naturally. You know how what Tyler gives. It's always the eye candy, baby. But she got there and he came and she insisted that her grandson take her home. That he take Andy home and all that. His name was Paris. The two of them had this real deep conversation on their way back. They're on their way back to, she had to go to the job and pick up her purse and everything and then, go on home. But they had a deep old conversation, baby. He was all into her and found out the grandmother had really been talking about her anyway at home, honey, and telling them about her and everything like that. But it wasn't weird. It wasn't weird. So she definitely is smitten with him, and he's definitely smitten with her. So that was cool. I said, oh, this is real heavy in here. But the heaviest part is actually working. It's coming up. It's getting ready to be Danny versus the rest of the girls because of the things that Zach has said. Karen showed up to the bar, and she's kind of filling Sabrina in on what's going on. She's like, Danny, she over there mad about something. She said, I don't know what it is. She said, well, girl, Danny gonna tell us because she always tells us when she's mad and everything else. So, because even Sabrina tried to buy Danny a drink, she wouldn't take it. So she knows something wrong. So, Karen waves at Danny, and Danny gave her, she said, give me the finger. She did. She did. Y'all get ready to have division in y'all group. Just so y'all know, we get ready to see Danny collide with the group, which is, I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be ugly. And I don't know. Danny's hurt. She was already hurt and feeling some kind of way. I hope that, listen. Danny better not screw Zach. That's all I know. Danny better not lap ride Zach. Because that's where the problem will come in. I don't believe they may be able to make it back from that, but it'll be real hard. It'll be really hard to make it back from her lap riding Zach. Him living in that apartment is a whole issue. But if she lap ride him, ooh, what a good time, honey. But that friendship is going to suffer. And not just the one friendship, it's going to suffer. It's going to be a whole mess. Anyway, so like I said, this week, it wasn't so much corny jokes. It got heavy. It reminded me more of an episode of Soul Food this week. It was cool. I was here for it. And the acting was definitely better. So I have to say, I definitely, when I yelled out about the acting being bad, I'm definitely going to yell out when they do good. And they did really well with the acting. Everything was pretty much on this week. All right, I'm done. This is good. We tapped into Tyler's melodrama. I'm here for it. Cold Baines.